Tyler Burnick. I believe that the American dream is the thought or idea that anybody can achieve any dream or goal they have in life. You can go from a hobo on the street to becoming a millionaire if you want to.
Okay. How achievable is the American dream now and why?
The American dream isn't what it used to be. I believe it was easier back in like the roaring 20s when America was at its highest point, that everybody was achieving their dreams right and left. But now I feel where the economy has fallen much, much harsher, it's much more difficult for people to achieve their dreams.
Okay. What is the American dream and how do you think society defines it?
I think the American dream is what most Americans try to achieve. Most Americans believe that they one day will own a white picket fence, the very fancy house, and be socially accepted.
How achievable is the American dream now?
Nowadays in today's society, I really don't think it's as achievable that it should be. But I think with hard work and determination, you can achieve it.
Okay, thank you, man.
I'm Kara Eskins. I believe that the American dream is kind of defined by like upward mobility, like with hard work and, you know, being a just and fair person and, you know, getting an education, you can make it in life and you can achieve whatever you want to achieve, whether that's, you know, being a part of the middle class or higher.
Okay, how achievable do you think the American dream is nowadays?
I think that there is a big push that education shouldn't be made a priority, and that people who kind of are rich can stay rich. We value wealth a lot more than we used to instead of upward mobility. So it's definitely less, but I still am an optimist, believe that it's possible.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Genevieve Houlihan.
What is the American dream and how do you think society defines it?
I think that society defines the American dream as having lots of money and lots of expensive cars and a hot blonde wife and like just anything that people think is what you need.
And how achievable is the American dream now and why?
To some people it's really easily achievable because their wealth is passed down to them, but to some people it's not easy to get the American dream.
I'm Clinton Calvert.
Okay, and what is your idea of the American dream?
I think the American dream started back when people were immigrating, like through Ellis Island, and everyone was saying the streets were paved with gold, and so the American dream was you could come over here and there was a lot of opportunity to become rich, just a lot of jobs that could make you rich.
And how do you think society defines it?
I mean, I guess they define it as equal opportunity. So there's an equal way to succeed for everyone, and you can start from nothing and become, you know, wealthy. And I guess president.
Okay, and how achievable do you think the American dream is now and why?
Not very, because, you know, inequality kind of expanded, so.
Thank you for your time.
My name is Kyle Grimes. What is the American dream and how do I think society defines it? I would say the American dream is the original 1950s. A white picket fence, middle-class family, a dog, 2 kids, good, decent paying job, that sort of thing. You know, I think of it as more of the American ideal or that sort of thing. It's what people reach for. Nowadays, I feel like people will define it as sort of a decent house, decent school, kids involved in all sorts of that sort of stuff right there. But your basic American family, I guess. I don't know if it ever was entirely achievable at all. I think it was always just out of reach, but not entirely out of reach to a point where it was a dream because it was believed it could be reached, but it's just out of reach, always kind of like on a hamster wheel for it. Why? I think it's always kind of kept up with us, especially now. There's too much inequality, the wage gap and that sort of thing we just learned about. But I think overall the dream has been there more of as like a carrot and stick method for the people to just keep moving. It's sort of the only thing that kind of drives our country forward is the chance that maybe one day I will have that American dream, and until then I can't rest. But the American dream is always updating, it's always changing, so just like the consumerism that is America, we have to keep chasing it.
American dream is like living the life you want to live, like getting up every day and enjoying life. To define society to live happily, you need to find something that you truly love doing with your life, and not just sitting somewhere for 8 hours a day and hating everything you do. You need to find something you enjoy. I feel like if you put the hard work in, anybody can achieve anything they want to.
Wow, I think the American dream is that people will be able to have the same opportunities as everyone else to be successful, to be able to fulfill the dreams that they want, to be able to have the kind of life that they want, and to not be restricted in it, to not be restricted because of money issues, to not be restricted because of government or any other kind of discrimination issues. I think it gets often translated into, a house and a family, 2.5 kids, 3 cats, and a picket fence, but there's so many people who want so many different things beyond that. I think people want to be respected. People want to be empowered. I think that's what the American dream is about. I think that differs by different types of people. It's unfortunate. I think that for European descended Americans, it's a lot easier than for people who come from other parts of the world. I think it's a lot easier for men than for women. I think it's easier if you fit into the categories that we think of as normal in American society. People who are outside of the norm, who have different sexualities than the norm, who have different lifestyles from the norm, have a much more difficult time of achieving the American dream. Unfortunately, I think, though, even for the majority of people, the American dream has been slipping away in the last, really certainly in my lifetime. It's been slipping away. It's going to be a whole lot harder for you and your generation to achieve it than it was for my generation, at least given current circumstances. I think today it's a lot harder than back in the old days when I was your age, back when we were harnessing dinosaurs to Conestoga wagons to go across the Atlantic to the New World. No, I think when I was growing up in the 70s, I think it was a whole lot easier than it is now.